is my second time recording this because my phone wanted to be a dick. So let me just quickly grab what I had. I gotta love these kinds of mornings. Like, it was such a good video and then like I lost my flow now because I just really fucking did it. All right, so this is gonna be the things that I would recommend to beginners. So essentially, it's a few odd items that I have that you can get cheaper versions of as well if you don't want to spend. And there. So I started out, my first purchase was a tray. Now, where did I already did all this, so I should have the drills here somewhere. So this is the tray from Yellow Dog. My Ride or Die. I have many colors. They did a few months ago kind of sell their brand, so now Ditz's Diamond Den makes them instead. My friend my friend Chris Loves Diamond Hitting sent me a couple for my birthday, which I really appreciate. All right, now these I would always recommend because the bumper at the bottom especially really helps to gather the drills at the bottom, and I start here when I multi-place, but they're just so smooth. They line up the drills really nicely, and it's just a really pleasant process. And I don't think the trays are that crazy expensive either, so if you just want to get one and kind of stick to it, easy, like it's an easy recommend. I think these were like $11-12 for me, but I would definitely get the ones with the bumper at the bottom because that'll just make your time so much easier when you are painting, and it's just so helpful. So that one is one of those. Now, another thing, so I have a lot of these. I got like a pack of 4 from like TikTok shop. Now, oh, that was the other thing I had. Now this kind of ties in to, I don't have enough drawers, my storage. So out of all the storage that you can get, there's 2 that I'd recommend. Now, this looks, you're like, what the heck is that for? So for any painting companies that use the baggie system, now I've said this before, I don't transfer out of the baggies. I do not see the point in wasting my time or anybody else's. Just pour them out of the baggie into the tray, put them back in the baggie, baggies in here. Stick the sticker on, bang in, put it in there, and it's done. I actually prefer the baggies in a lot of them than having to pour them all out into here. It's just a time saver. So when I am storing the baggies, I use these. They're collapsible. I got a pack of 4 for less than $10. You can get bigger ones too. I have those as well. But it's great for storing baggies. Now, DAC and I think Dreamers who don't, well, the Dreamers overseas the baggies, but the ones from here use the same kind of system as DAC. That's when I use Elizabeth Ward or the knockoff Elizabeth Ward. Again, I bought both varieties. Now you can get like a 2-pack, and I think it's cheaper by about half for the knockoff. They work the same. If you have nails, you might find it's difficult to lift the lid sometimes. I love them especially, but if as well, I'll use this for when this isn't enough and you have like 8 bags extra, then I'm just like, well, I don't want to bring out another massive Elizabeth Ward to store just like 8 colors. That's when I'll use the baggie system. And on top of that, something that links in are these little clips. Now, again, you might not think these are anything. These were $5.99 off Amazon, and they're little clips that I use on open DAC bags because, like I said, if I have like 8 colors hanging around, I'll put the sticker on the bag, and then if I open the bag to obviously use a drill, I'll just roll it, clip it, put it in this, so that again I'm not wasting time and it's really not anything more time consuming or anything like that, and they're secure. So literally just fold over, roll the top, clip it on, you're good to go. Personally, it's worked for me. It might not for everyone, I'm not saying any of these will, but that's what I've kind of found them very, very useful for. Because I don't want to have like 2 piles of my Elizabeth Ward things and rooting through them all for an extra few colours. So that's what I found helpful with that. Let me just close this door. There we go. Alrighty, now the flow of my, it's so annoying, the flow of my last video was so good. Alright, now that is in the past. So, cover minders, let's get that one out of the way. Now for those where the sections of, where did I put, oh it's there. Now for the sections where we don't have, or the plastic cover where we don't have the DAC perforations, cover minders are still one of the best things to use, especially if you're not willing to cut off the full plastic of the section and complete that in one go. Just cut up halfway up the plastic, fold it back, cover minder on, and you're good to go. And just move that around the painting as you work. Sometimes I kept this one because sometimes companies will send this. It's like the little freebie thing. So you don't necessarily have to like spend crazy either. I got quite a few for cheap on Etsy, like a couple of bucks. And if you don't want to spend, just don't buy more. That's my, like, don't fall down the rabbit hole I did. It's a bad rabbit hole to be down. On the same kind of area, I would go with the washi tape. Now, again, some companies will send it in the little toolkit. Oralo is one of them, and it works, hence why I kept it. Now some I found didn't, Simply Gilded, they were, some it just tore off the roll, it wasn't working, and it's expensive. So I find, again, Etsy, it's a UK store, it's crafting, I don't know. They were like $2 for a roll, and the postage isn't that lot to say it's from the UK. I love buying it from there still, so I still do that. So there are cheap alternatives to the really pretty stuff, and you can get pretty stuff. I actually need to go back on there anymore. So definitely recommend. Now let me grab these. So scissors for me, again, because of the fact that we cut back sections, we have to cut like cheap scissors. Again, you can get cute ones. These I got in the other day from TikTok shop. Adorable. They were like $1.14. I got these in like a pack of 3. So that's that. I used to use these for getting putty out of my pens. It dulls them. It now has like putty stuck to the bottom. So I try and avoid doing that and only use those for section puddings. I do have a putty picker. I'm not saying buy a bougie one. I did because I have no self-control. This is what I use to get out the putty from the thing. If you want a less bougie option, a little, I'd say a nail, you'll call, I think the thumbtacks over here, like pin, paper clip, that would also work if you want to do it not on a bougie epic scale. I got that because it's comfortable for my hand and I'm constantly changing my fucking thing. So I'll actually do it with this one because I need to change the putty anyway. And for me, it just stops my, where did I put my trash thing? This is a trash bin. I'm not just piling up shit at the side of Dash's house. So this just stops my scissors or anything like that getting putty stuck to them. And anything like that. So just an easier way of doing it, I find. There we go. Get out of there. All right, there we go. I'll end up forgetting that I did that for the next time, and then I'll start painting and be like, what the? Speaking of, I might as well go to this now. So the one thing DAC does well is the tips. Now, I have them stored in here. I'll never be without my multiplacers. I think I've gone with every single size. This is, I think, a 10 or a 12 on this end, and a single. And then I have, I think, a 5 and a 7 or 8. I don't use the bulk. Now these ones I wouldn't recommend the 3s or the 2s. Where did I put the 2 on? Oh, it's this. It's a 4, I think. So I have like 3 of them. I think I went through a phase of like, oh, these are awesome, absolute horseshit. I wouldn't go smaller. I would go 1, and then the next one I'd buy would be a 5 placer. The glue runs out, the putty runs out really, really quickly on a 2 to a 4, just because you are constantly using it for all the itty bitty bits. But then with a 5, you can go to the end of the placer and also the middle for placing the 2 drills or 3 drills. And you're saving putty on that one. Again, if you end up doing this, sometimes you'll need to put a little bit of washi tape just to hold it into the pen, depending on how it's drilled. Y'all don't need to know how expensive this tub is. Once you find the sizes that work for you, stick with them. I very rarely swap to the other types. And I do have a 20 placer and a 25 placer. I don't know where I've put them, but they're threaded, so they're somewhere. So yeah, these are narrower too than I have used the Amazon ones. But these are narrower, so you get a very much sleeker line when you are working, and they pick up a lot easier from the trays too. So that is one slight expense I would recommend buying. Get your ass in there. Now, putty is, again, a little slippery slope. This is my most recent purchase, and I think first purchase from Patsy Putty. It's very good so far. I do have also in my desk Randers. I have a couple, shit ton of Thez Studios, a lot of Thez. I get them all the time. I do have Paint and Sparkles, Abby's Diamond Putty. That along with a tray are probably the 2 things I started out with. Abby's is still the best in my opinion. And this is good though, but as a hard presser, like I said, I'm constantly changing putty because I can work up to like 12 hours at a time. My longest stint is 13. I kind of said I was going to finish 12 sections in one go, and I did, but it was 13 hours. No control. So then the putty is incredibly important. I've tried so many different types because I'm sensitive to smells and a hard presser, and I like to get my bang for my buck, right? So these for me, when they're thicker especially, I'm trying to open it the wrong way. And I can't get my finger in to get the thing off as easy as I'd like. So that makes it annoying for me. So like, be wary. I have used this one and I've used this one. Again, I love it. Do I love that it's in a tin? Absolutely not. It's finicky. Like, I feel like you can't get the pull of the things as easy. So I do often go for the basic line. The basic lines are also cheaper. I do say that if you are on a budget, Forever Young's putty is pretty decent. You can also use, my hair just fell out as it does. You can also use, like blue tack, white tack. I've used that too, that works pretty well. But yeah, it's whichever you kind of find that it gives you that what you're looking for. So that either the budget, things like that, the scents, go for it. But this stuff is good, but go for ones that are the flat layers. I always say that. Did I get this? I did. Flat layers. Put that back in there. Actually, let's keep those two out for my next paintings. All right, and then we have, this is for like trash drills. Now a lot of us, when we get 310, a lot of those like to stick together. So I'll pour a little bit of them into here and section them out. Again, that could look completely different regarding colors. Some have more trash than others. 310s are pretty bad, and such. So again, it's something I would recommend, because I would get frustrated as hell with those drills that would like get so staticky they'd end up in like one of those little dotty, like they look like one of those clusters, the nerd clusters. Just easy. Now these two, you can definitely get cheaper alternatives. I don't have them right now. These are little for static. I got these from Nebula Artistry when I got some putty, and they're not scented. Not really. And I cut them into 4, and then I put 1 or 2 of them into my Elizabeth Ward storage, if all the baggies, if they have excess static. You can use dryer sheets. It's not a problem. I find that they feel, I'm a texture person, so they feel weird to my fingertips. I can't explain it, but for anybody with TISM or ADHD like me, I try and find stuff that works for my corner. So having very low scented or scents that are manageable, they'll be on my channel. So yeah, you can use dry sheets. Now these are also for, what is it? I had the word last time and now I can't. So you know the plastic covers, and people can use the, it's right there. God, y'all are probably yelling at me too. So these are instead of the mind blank. People can use greaseproof paper, just like plain white versions of this. Now, I got this because I was supporting, I got this from Gemify Designs UK. Anna's amazing, and she messaged me straight away. She knew I was going to do it. I love a Styrene, BG3, all that. And as soon as she dropped these, bless her, I was like, oh, I'll get them. I like supporting friends and their stores, and he's just super cute. Will I use them? Probably not, no. But he's cute to look at, right? But yeah, these are for if you want to take off the plastic cover and still have sections. This is good. I don't use it simply just because for me in pictures, it looks better as the clear. And then also I like to see how the rendering's looking as I work on them. Please yell at me in the comments, because I know it. I said it in the first version of this video. But anyway, there are cheaper alternatives that also work well, is what I'm saying. So if you do find the plastic finicky or irritating, or gather, like it gets stuck or anything like that, then use release paper. You don't have to yell at me now. I got it. I'm there. Release paper. Oof. Lord, that took way too long, didn't it? But yeah, those are my however many products that I would recommend to a beginner. There are cheaper options. Don't just look at mine and be like, the fuck has she spent that on? Yeah, I spent on it now. I'm 2 years in. Buy the cheaper pen. Buy the like robust stuff. The trays I would recommend hands down, and they're not that expensive. I don't know why I just put that up. I think I was fiddling. But the trays, they're my go-to, and definitely on the recommend list. All right, I hope that was helpful in some regard, or just being nosy. I don't really mind. All right, I'll see you in the next one.